I say, come, let we build a nation together, a nation that we all can feel proud of. You see, when you are involved in the building process, you tend to appreciate it more. And that is why I have been stressing the need for all of us. Come, my brother, come, my sister, and let us build Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique together. And that's the call, to build, not to break, to enhance, to transform, to make this place better, not just for this generation, but for the next generation and the next generation. They will take it from there. I want to welcome you to the hub. Again, we have a unique moment in time to reason, to talk, to dialogue. That's the beautiful thing about this program. We endeavor to educate, to empower, to enlighten, to foster a robust intellectual conversation via radio and social media, to empower you, to enlighten you, to make you a better knowledge bank that you can have a conversation at any given time, don't matter who you're confronted by. I want to encourage the folks on Facebook and YouTube to please share the live. Sharing is caring. When you share the program, you give more people the opportunity to view, to follow, to get to know what's going down. And tonight I want to feature the Honorable Philip Tellisford, the Minister of Health. He has been doing a fantastic job as Minister of Health, and also in his constituency. He was on DMs with PM last evening, and he really gave a good account of himself and his ministry, because I know they've been doing a fantastic job at that ministry, a wonderful job, from the partnership with Mount Sinai to, and when I talk about the partnership with Mount Sinai, I am talking about the enhancement of service at the General Hospital and, other clinics and so on. And then Project Polaris, the new teaching hospital facility, the Hopeville Medical City. And then we look at specialist doctors that they added to the list of doctors at hospitals and clinics. We see upgrades to medical stations, the Princess Alice Hospital, the Princess Royal Hospital, and you can go on and on and on. It is just happening, and we need to acknowledge that. So he had this to say, because people have been wondering about the Princess Alice Hospital at Maribor, because you often hear a lot about the General Hospital, the main hospital on island. But the Princess Alice Hospital is a very important hospital in the Maribor area. So let's feature that.
Question from Finbar, and Finbar is asking, what is the plan for the Princess Alice Hospital?
Right. So, well, first and foremost, we are in discussion, in deep discussion, as a matter of fact, with the People's Republic of China for a new hospital, Princess Alice Hospital, to be constructed on the same site. Many people might not be aware of that, but that is happening. As a matter of fact, in 2026, that's this year, the preliminary work has already started. We've done quite a number of pieces already. We have had the first set of drawings submitted, and we were able to look at it in consultation with the Pan American Health Organization and send back the response to China so that they can make the necessary adjustments and so on. And in 2027, we expect to see the actual construction of the new hospital at Princess Alice happens. And this is strategic because we want to ensure that both on the east and west of Grenada, be able to afford the people top quality healthcare, so as to trap, if one might use that word, people from the northern and eastern side of the country from going into the hospital, so that into a general hospital that is, so we're able to offer that service midway the country. Also, we are upgrading the emergency units at the Princess Alice, and that is going to help. The refurbishment of that unit will also help in service delivery. We are bringing physiotherapy services to Princess Alice, and that's
Fantastic.
a big one. So we'll have a physiotherapist working there. And also just general improvements in the management of the Princess Alice Hospital. That is happening. So we are re-examining where we are with a view to strengthen service delivery, because we believe it's important. Also, we need to add additional personnel at the facility, additional doctor, for example, to be able to have more services available there. And so as we continue to negotiate with our foreign partners, when we get our specialists and so on, we'll be able to release more into Princess Alice.
Fantastic. Does digitization of patient records has begun as part of health system strengthening? How will digital health records improve efficiency, reduce waiting times, and enhance patient care across the Tri-Island state?
Right. So digitization is a key aspect in health service delivery, because over the years, what we found is that the implementation of software, for example, has been done on a very ad hoc basis, in that every time that there's a need, a software is added to the system. And so you have a number of different pieces of software not speaking to each other. And that in itself is a problem. So we have started the process. We have recruited a consultant, and we have formulated a committee, an e-health committee, that is now looking at the procurement of software in a holistic manner, to be able to answer the question of us being able to interlink between the various departments and various service areas. And so that needs assessment has already been completed, and we are in the process of procuring the software. The ICD-10 that we currently use, we are now graduating towards ICD-11, and that is a paperless system for international disease control. So when patients are treated at the hospital, it is being done in a paperless environment. So now it creates some efficiencies in the system. It adds to confidentiality, and it helps us to be able to serve our customers, our patients, in a more timely manner, and of course reduce errors, because once the data is properly stored, when the information is collected in the first instance, it is shared across without any chance of human errors across the board.
That is very important. Yeah. We have another question. The 2026 national budget places strong emphasis on transforming the healthcare system into the healthcare capital of the Eastern Caribbean. What specific reforms or programs do you consider most essential for achieving this vision?
Right. So it's a set of things that are important for the transformation of healthcare. The quality improvement is a major item, and that we are doing in consultation with the Mount Sinai International. They are helping us to improve quality improvements, to implement quality improvements. Secondly, you have the statutorization of the hospital and NHI. These are major investments that the government must do. in order to ensure that we improve service delivery. And of course, as I mentioned before, Project Polaris, the construction of the new hospital. But fundamentally to all of this is the development of primary health care. We must tackle primary health care from the angle of being able to upgrade all of the clinics, the medical stations and health centers around the country. We have 21 of those that we have to do, and we continue to focus on those at the moment, and ensuring that there are doctors and nurses and medication available at these clinics. What that will do, it will give people confidence in the primary healthcare system. And when people have confidence in the primary healthcare system, they will use it. And of course, the educational drive as to what you eat, how do you exercise, how do you live, and how do you, ensuring that you screen early to avoid people coming down with chronic illnesses that will prevent overburdening of a secondary system. And so these are major things that we're doing to ensure that we drive the process of improved health care.
Yes, so that's the Honorable Philip Telesford there, the Minister of Health. And look, I visited a friend at the hospital and I noticed the difference, the improvements at the hospital. Things are happening at the hospital. And take it from me when I tell you so. Take it from me when I tell you so. We know that the partnership with Mount Sinai is bearing fruits. And Dr. Taisha Donald, the Director of Medical Services at the General Hospital, she spoke only recently.
I'm Dr. Taisha Donald, Director of Medical Services here at the General Hospital. My role is to provide oversight and leadership in the aspects of clinical and medical care for our patients within our population. As part of my role also, we work toward providing high quality and safe delivery of care to our patients. Mount Sinai International had their third in-person visit at the General Hospital. At this visit, we focused on governance structure, organizational culture, obstetric and gynecology care, as well as neonatology and pediatric care. One of the trainings that we conducted was that of the Lean Champion training. Now, part of this training is geared towards identifying persons who would champion the cause to conduct the early morning huddles. The huddles are a structure in place where persons meet in the morning, all stakeholders at the various departments. Clinical persons, non-clinical persons, we meet, discuss matters that would have arisen over the course of the night, and also plan for the day ahead. It's a very important meeting because it really helps to create better structure, and also it's very good for problem solving. Since the implementation of huddles, I can safely say at the accident and emergency, the number of complaints would have significantly decreased over time. We also did some governance training. Now, part of governance means doing what we call root cause analysis and peer reviews. Now, root cause analysis is a way of reviewing cases, or not just cases, but incidents that would have taken place within our institution, and getting to the root of the problem and trying to come up with ways to fix them. And we also did a bit of obstetrics and gynecology training. Of course, you know, obstetrics and gynecology is one of the very important clinical area within our institution. And that is because it deals with two persons. It deals with mother and child. So we focus on things like fetal heart monitoring, how to interpret that, tracing to see when our baby is in problem, when you need to intervene, warning signs. So that was one of the key things on this training. The team from obstetrics and gynecology, though, they have been working for the last few weeks together with the Mount Sinai partner on developing protocols and policies. So what we've been doing is updating existing ones and creating new ones that do not exist. And they've been working side by side with the experts from Mount Sinai. We had neonatologists from the Mount Sinai International team, and they came to our facility and had exchange with our local neonatologists and the pediatric team, where they visited the facility, saw our setup, and they were part of doing the neonatal resuscitation program. NRP is a type of resuscitation that you do when babies are born to ensure that within that first couple seconds and minutes of birth, this baby can have a good outcome. So they did some training with both the maternity team, which are the nurses and midwives who work on the maternal unit, as well as persons working on the pediatric or neonatology unit. So this training is beneficial because all in all, it's all geared towards improving the delivery of care to our population. As a people, healthcare is a priority for us. It is a priority also for the government of Grenada, and we want to work together towards improving the outcomes of our patients and improving the delivery of care to all the persons who seek care at our institutions.
Yes, so that's Dr. Taisha Donald there. And look, this didn't used to happen in the past. And some people do not appreciate what this government is doing in terms of healthcare. These are new things that are happening in the healthcare sector, the healthcare system, to enhance it, to enhance service deliverables, right? The service that they deliver to you, to make it better, to improve it. And this is good. This is fantastic. Something is happening in the healthcare system. And we have to acknowledge that. We have to talk about it. This is important.
My name is Dr. Abigail Noel, and I am the head of department at the Accident and Emergency Department, also known as Casualty. As head of department, I am responsible for coordination, and I'm also responsible for training of staff. Training of staff is to enhance our staff, not just in the medical, but also in personal well-being. We have been working along with Mount Sinai since November, and in that time, we have had such a great experience with the Mount Sinai team. One thing I love about Mount Sinai is their spirit of collaboration. They came in with ideas that we were able to discuss, and we were able to implement them. There are so many processes that they have implemented here, especially in the emergency department, that have transformed our department in real time. One of the things that I would mention is the implementation of ID bands for every patient that comes through the emergency department. So once you get in here, once you're triaged by the triage nurse at the front, you receive an identification band. And as we can imagine, that has decreased patient errors, have decreased errors in identification of patients. Because here in the emergency department, not everyone comes in able to talk or able to give information. So having an identification band on each patient has really helped us improve patient care and decrease errors. Another process that they have implemented is defibrillators on every ward, including the emergency department. Defibrillators basically are those machines that you would see on TV where they shock people. We have those on every ward. We have also started training staff in how to adequately utilize these machines. Thus far, 128 staff members have been trained in defibrillator use, and this includes Grenada and the Carrico. Mount Sinai has implemented a huddle system. It is a system that I have had experience in because I had experience working with Mount Sinai in Guyana. The huddle system is basically a small meeting, like a 15-minute meeting with all team members. And when I say all team members, I mean security guards, receptionists, maids, nurses, doctors, everyone who is on duty in the department at the time, drivers, very important. They come in for a mini 15-minute check-in where we discuss any issues to patient flow from the prior shift, and also not just issues, but also compliments, great things that happened on the shift. One of the advantages of huddle that I have seen in our department is that it improves communication between staff members as well as with patients. And also staff members have a sense of confidence. They feel seen, they feel heard, and they understand that their role is important. This transformation means everything to the emergency department and by extension, the health system. They are giving us the tools and the knowledge so that we can accelerate, that we can fix our problems, and then the systemic issues, they would be resolved over time. But we are resolving our issues internally, and I've seen a great improvement, especially in the emergency department, and I expect that we are going to improve even more, and I'm very excited about that.
Yes, and we are also excited, Dr. Abigail Noel. All right, we are excited too. We are happy to see what is happening in the health sector of the country. And these things never used to happen in the hospital and clinics and so on. And that is why I'm saying to folks, we have to appreciate what is happening within the health sector.
My name is Esther John Charles, and I've been working at the General Hospital for the past 36 years. I am manager for medical and the ophthalmology department. This initiative seems to be a very bold one. For us in Grenada, the collaboration will benefit us as a smaller population. Because of our staffing situations and personnel, we have not been able to improve in our revision of policies and procedures as we would like to. We have started that some years ago, so with Mount Sinai here, they assess all of this and we are on the right path. So we just have to continue to strengthen what we're already doing, and we'll continue to improve in the areas that we are lagging behind. One of the training needs that was provided was that of for efficiency and communication. So they have these 3-tier hurdles that we as different departments can use every day to evaluate yesterday's performance, see where we need to improve. To be honest, it gives the feeling that something is happening. And from administrative point of view, we are always looking to improve, especially in nursing, always doing improvement in ways to help enhance our service and help staff development. And most importantly, we want to help build this confidence with our teams.
Yes, thank you very much there for your continued service. 36 years as a nurse. Thank you very much there indeed. Something is happening in healthcare and we need to say it louder, all right? We need to say it even louder.
My name is Liselle Walcott. I'm a staff nurse and presently been a staff nurse at the General Hospital for the past 16 years. At the Infection Control Department, what we do surveillance for communicable diseases. We do surveillance for hospital-acquired infections. We do outbreak investigations related to our hospital-acquired infections. So any issues we have, we would investigate it, find out the cause, and we would do our interventions, recommendations and interventions to all relevant departments. Thus far, with Mount Sinai, we have looked at hand hygiene. We are looking at ways of improving hand hygiene, especially when it comes to compliance among all staff. Hand hygiene has been proven to be one of the most important practice you could do to break the chain of infection, thus reducing infections transmitting from one patient to another or from staff to patients. Working along with Mount Sinai, I foresee that it will be a very good thing for us, especially working with our hand hygiene campaign that is going on now. They are looking into the products that we use, the practices that we do to find out any loopholes, any gaps that exist. We're going to address it. And going forward, we'll be able to achieve a very high level of compliance amongst our staff. So high compliance is relatable to good care being delivered and safety across the board for everyone. I love being a nurse because it is challenging. I like helping people, but from an infection control standpoint, I am fascinated by bacteria, unfortunately. There are so many avenues, there are so many things. And in my opinion, I always say, being a nurse reminds you of God. Life is very tangible. You are reminded of that aspect, and then you are also reminded of the fact that you are making a difference. The simple things you do make a big difference in the outcome of a patient care for the relatives and everyone involved. So it is very rewarding, but it keeps you grounded because it's like God is still God. I'm looking forward to the new things they would bring on board for us. They have a lot to offer. And from my department, I'm eager to learn everything that they have to give and to teach and to share. The methods have been proven, so we could only go up from here.
Thank you very much, dear Nurse Walcott, for your service. And as she said, things are happening. You can feel it. Things are happening within the health sector, within the hospitals and clinics. That is what you want to see. I remember the NDC came into power and they upgraded that kitchen facility at the hospital because there was literally no kitchen there.
State-of-the-art kitchen at the General Hospital, which had been closed for a couple of years for major upgrades, is now fully operational with modern equipment, improved food safety systems, and expanded meal preparation capabilities. The upgraded facility includes enhanced refrigeration and storage units and energy-efficient cooking stations. Hospital administrators say the revamped kitchen will ensure patients received fresh, nutritious, and tailored meals, an essential element of recovery and overall health outcomes. Minister for Health, Honorable Philip Telesford, emphasized the government's commitment to investing in healthcare infrastructure that directly benefits patients.
So this is our opportunity to utilize the equipment, the environment, the human resources available to us, and the ingredients to deliver healing properties to the patients. We are on a mission to transform healthcare in Grenada. And the opening of this kitchen today is part of this mission, outfitting it with the best available equipment, creating the right environment for you, the staff, to work, is part of that mission.
Acting Director of Hospital Services, Hannah St. Paul, emphasized the importance of this interrogation.
We all know that good nutrition is a vital component of our healthcare, and this kitchen stands as a beacon of our dedication to that important principle. We are embarking on a new chapter filled with opportunities to nourish our patients, support our staff, and enhance the overall healing experience for our patients.
The recommissioned kitchen is part of a broader initiative by the General Hospital to improve patient experience through infrastructure upgrades.
Again, brand new kitchen under the NNP that never existed. And still the NNP will tell you nothing is happening in healthcare. Sometimes I laugh. We only saw the handover of a new mammogram, at the General Hospital.
The first time Grenada's public healthcare system is now furnished with mammogram equipment that includes biopsy capability, following the official handing over of the machinery to the General Hospital from the U.S. radiologist Dr. Randy Becker. With breast cancer being the leading cause of cancer-related deaths in Grenada, the equipment is expected to significantly aid in the early detection of breast cancer. The handover ceremony took place last Friday. Dr. Becker says the machinery will aid radiologists in real-time management of complex breast examinations.
We have what's called a 3D hologic dimensions mammography tomosynthesis. And all those words mean is that instead of looking at the breast tissue in 2D planes, we can actually look at it at 3D planes. And why is that helpful? That's helpful because we can detect very small, earlier cancers. We can determine when areas that we thought before were suspicious are no longer suspicious and prevent additional radiation, prevent unnecessary biopsies. So now, the only place on the island of Grenada that has 3D tomography mammosynthesis is right there in that hallway. We also have a stereotactic biopsy system. We tried this week to potentially, we scanned about 40 patients this week. We looked into potentially trying to do a biopsy on one of the patients. We felt that, let's move slow, let's be careful. And we'll continue to screen patients for mammography and then maybe bring back the team and do a week of training under the biopsy system. But now we have the ability to actually biopsy a suspicious microcalcification or nodule that we see that day. And if the patient is here, we can keep that patient, whether it's a male or female, in our hospital right here and provide that service. And not only can we provide that service, we can actually image the specimen there afterwards. And why is that helpful? Because that way we can determine whether or not we have all the breast tissue, we have all the suspicious microcalcifications, and a patient won't need any unnecessary excisional biopsies or additional surgeries.
Improving access to women's health care and screening services in Grenada is an important health initiative for the country. Dr. Linwal Fleury, head of radiology department at the General Hospital, is confident that this equipment will be a vital interim resource in the fight against breast cancer.
Yeah, so this is fantastic. The women of the nation must feel happy that we have that kind of technology equipment to help the women, in diagnosing and treating and taking care of their breasts. That is really good. So things are happening. And as Ms. Gay said, the Caraco just commissioned a state-of-the-art X-ray machine.
The advanced digital X-ray technology promises a multitude of benefits for both medical professionals and residents in the community of Caraco and Petite Martinique. The new equipment delivers higher resolution images with a significantly lower radiation dose, making procedures safer for patients. It will also enable radiologists and doctors to receive results more quickly and accurately, allowing for faster and more precise diagnosis. For the hospital's clinical staff, the modern and user-friendly interface will streamline workflow and increase efficiency, reducing waiting times for patients and enhancing the overall hospital experience. Previously, the hospital's imaging capabilities had been non-functional for several years, creating a major gap in the facility's offerings. The reintroduction of this vital service with modern equipment will ensure that Princess Royal Hospital remains relevant and effective in an evolving medical landscape. Saskia Freitas-Smith, IAE representative for 8 Caribbean countries, expressed her delight in the collaboration, highlighting the impact of natural disasters on healthcare infrastructure.
Even coming over today, I'm imagining if you actually needed to do an X-ray, by the time you get the person onto mainland, what happens? So it really, really calls home just how important this service is. And the IAEA, as your Master of Ceremony said, it's not an agency that you normally hear about. Most times when you hear about the IAEA, it's regarding or safeguards function, but we do a lot when it comes to development and the peaceful uses of nuclear technology. We work in...
Yeah, so this is fantastic for Caraco. And they also commissioned oxygen plant. Normally they would have to get oxygen from Grenada. They're now able to do that right there in Caraco. And also they're doing blood testing. There's a lab and they're doing all the blood testing and so on in Caraco, which is fantastic. You don't hear much about those things, but you have to talk about it. You have to talk about it because it never existed in Carriacou. I remember in days ago, they have to send down the blood and sometimes it would spoil. Send it down on the Osprey and then somebody have to come and pick it up and it's just a. But right now, they're able to do that right there in Carriacou. Oxygen, able to get it right there, organize it right there. X-ray right there. Things are happening. If you don't know, let me tell you, things are happening for the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique and for the people of Grenada when it comes to healthcare. You would not hear the NNP talk about those things. They are not interested in that because if they talk about those things, then people are going to get to know. They're going to get to know that things are happening and the healthcare system is being improved every day. And what I love the most about all of these pieces I played for you, the Ministry of Health, the Honorable Philip Tellisford and his team, Ambassador Andrea St. Bernard. I mean, for the first time in a long, I don't know, they have never had that. They've had an award ceremony, a Health Excellence Awards, ceremony for departments within the hospital, within the health sector. I love that. Appreciating the nurses, appreciating the doctors, appreciating the workers at the General Hospital and all of the hospitals throughout.
We celebrate our healthcare professionals who, despite our challenges with shortages, they devoted their time and their energy to embrace the culture shift, and they actively participated in all the quality improvement activities. They are the heroes today.
The best department, it goes to the laboratory department.
The most improved department, the obstetrics department.
The MVP of quality improvement. That award goes to Abigail Noel, Dr. Noel.
A very big thank you to the Mount Sinai team.
We are happy to partner with Mount Sinai International to navigate through this process of quality improvement.
More than 75% of our work have been either completed or started. Over 40 SOPs and policies, gathered more than 300 staff to go through various types of training, piloted 16 different initiatives, almost 30 audits that was done across the work streams.
I do have the privilege now of just congratulating and thanking the management team that have led you all expertly through the beginning of this initiative.
Thank you for being the champions of this project. The future of healthcare starts right here, right now. Thank you.
Yes. So, folks, things are happening, and I'm happy to share with you some of the things that are happening within the healthcare sector or system. We know about the many ambulances that were purchased for the General Hospital and other hospitals. We know about the amount of nurses added. We know about the amount of doctors added. So, look, nurses are getting a better salary now, $500 more in their salary every month. Doctors are getting $1,000 more in their salary every month. Nurses got an increase in their uniform allowance and so on. I mean, things are happening in the health sector, and we have to call it out. You will not hear the NNP talk about these things. They're waiting for something bad to happen. They're waiting for something negative to talk about. That is what they do. At the meeting tonight, it's all negative, blame, complain, criticize, condemn. This thing is easy to do. But when it comes to finding solutions, when it comes to fixing stuff, when it comes to helping people, you ask them. NNP, what have you done in the last 3 years and months since you lost the general election? So you're telling me that you have to be in government to do something to help people? That is how they operate. All they do is condemn and criticize. And the meetings that they're having around the country, they're bossing people. So, for example, they're having a meeting in St. John, the Concord Government School, tonight, and they bus people from St. Mark, from St. George Northwest, right? So they bring people from that constituency, the two neighboring constituencies, and then they carry some folks from St. Andrew. There's a bus that comes from St. Andrew picking up people, and there's a bus from St. David. So that is what they're actually doing. So you would see, let's say, a hall with people, but it's not people from St. John only, or people from, wherever they have in the meeting. So they're going around with the same set of people at those meetings. So it's not that they're growing in numbers or anything dramatic. And if you look at their live, the numbers are very poor online. People are not bothered with NNP. All they do is condemn, criticize. But good things are happening. Talk about the good things too. Let people know about the good things. And while I am on that, I want to applaud the Ministry of Finance, the Minister of Finance, the Honorable Dennis Cornwall, the PS Sylvester, and all the staff, the Accountant General, and the line ministries with finance departments. They're doing a fantastic job. They did a press conference, and they told the nation that the new system that they have is more efficient, it's seamless, and it will bring relief to vendors, the people who do business with government, service providers, contractors. And I spoke today with a number of contractors, a number of people. In fact, I actually marked down the amount. I spoke to 31 contractors, people who called me before and say, hey, I had problems, hey, I had issues. And they were able to say to me, hey, Kim, we got sorted out and we got paid. Because remember, I have been saying the government does not have an issue with money. They have money. They can pay everyone who they owe. It was just that it's a new system that they were rolling out, and it had some, teething issues and so on. But they came forward publicly, acknowledged that, and said, these are the things we were doing to fix it. So I'm happy to report that the 31 or so contractors and people who I spoke to who do business with government, they said, look, they received an email from the portal, because when you sign up on the portal, you have to enter your email address, your phone number, and other particulars. But the email address is specifically to send you notifications. You don't have to respond. You don't have to reply to the notifications, right? No reply notifications saying, the government of Grenada, purchase order number, blah, 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 blah. We received it. It's approved. It's confirmed. That's the invoice that the contractor sends in. So they would send you that notification. Yes, we received your invoice. We went through your invoice and it was approved for payment. And then when payment is ready, they would send you another notification, no reply notification, saying Government of Grenada payment remittance advice notice, saying that payment is ready. It was sent to your bank, and you can expect it in 3 to 5 days, right? So they're going to send you that notification. So I want to publicly, because you know me, if people are complaining, I will be advocating for them. But when things are good, I will be the first person to come forward and say it's good. I want to say to the Honorable Dennis Cornwall and PS Sylvester, the Accountant General, and also the different ministries with accountants. You have accountants in there, in all those different ministries. You all are doing a fantastic job. Keep it up. Let that be the way in going forward. This is a good move, and I want to publicly say so. And I am certain that contractors, service providers, will come forward and commend the government, the Ministry of Finance in particular, because they came forward with a press conference. They acknowledge that there were some deficiencies, there were some issues with the new vendors portal, and that they would fix it. They're working on it. In fact, they have this roving team now going out in the different districts, and assist people who want to sign up, who are afraid of the technology or don't have access to it, to sign up as the people who do work for government, like contractors, service providers, and that kind of thing. So they're actually going to the people, which is fantastic. So look, we have to call it out. They're doing a fantastic job, but still, the NNP will be on a platform saying, well, people ain't getting pay, well, people have issues with this, and people have issues with that, and contractors are this, and that's how the NNP operates. They will not come out and say to you that the system is working and the people are seeing mass improvement. They will not come out and say that. I will, because 31 service providers or contractors spoke to me today, communicated, because they received that notification via the email saying, hey, payments was sent to your bank. All right? Or the purchase order was approved, your invoice was approved, and payment was sent to the bank. And that's good. But you don't have to call the ministries anymore. You don't even have to call the bank anymore. You're getting that notification in your email. You just have to check it. So I want to applaud the government of Grenada. I want to applaud because I remember when a number of contractors and service providers reached out to me. I personally reached out to our beloved Prime Minister. And when I communicated with him, he said to me, hey, Kem, we are working on this. We will get it solved. And within a matter of days, I saw the public officers coming forward and explain the problem and put forward solutions and what they intend to do. What are the steps they intend to take to get this thing solved? And I can attest, I can tell you that 31 of those contractors or service providers reached out to me. I reached out to even some who didn't even reach out to me because they're so happy. I reached out to them. And I said, hey, tell me, give me an update. I want to know. And I'm happy to say to you that the system has improved tremendously. I'm not telling you that they solve everything and that it's perfect and that everybody got paid. I'm not telling you this, but I'm telling you that they are making serious progress. And I'll be the first to say so. So again, kudos. And I want, just as a lot of them call this one and call that one and condemn, criticize, call and say, look, we got our notification. We got our payments. We got notification that payments are sent to the bank or the credit union now. You understand the point? Do the same. Because the NNP folks, they will not stop being negative. They will not stop condemning. They will not stop concocting stories. That is what they want. They want bad news. They are bearers of bad news. In days of old, because there was a lack of technology, all right? You didn't have smartphones and TV and all those different things. Not even radio. Or if radio, it was few and, far apart in the village. So you had somebody who would be responsible for passing around to spread the bad news. They would not be passing around to spread any good news. They come to tell you somebody dead, somebody sick, somebody meeting some accident, something happened to. That's the NNP. The NNP is bearers of bad news. They're negative. And it can take a toll on you. It can take a toll on you. You see negativity? It can wear you down. It can beat you down. It can defeat you all over. We have to become more positive as a people. We have to become positive thinkers. it helps holistically. Because you see, negativity can bring on all kind of sickness, When you hate and you're negative and you're bitter and you're sour, it can take a toll on you, on your personal health. But the NNP, they have been very, very negative since they lost the election to this point. And they would not stop. But mind you, if they get into power 20 years from today, they have all the positive things to see. They have all the good things to see. But now they're in opposition. They're fighting to get in. And it's just negative, negative, negative. But the Grenadian people are smarter. They're dealing with a more educated, intelligent electorate. So Grenadians are not falling for all this sweet talk and nice talk and all the rubbish that you get from them. Grenadians are not falling for that. Grenadians want to see Grenada develop. We want Grenada to move forward. Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. And it's step by step. Things will not happen overnight. It will take some time. You see some mass improvement in the healthcare sector. It took time to reach to this point. Some of them criticize, in fact, the NNP criticize Mount Sinai, the relationship with Mount Sinai and the amount of money spent to forge that relationship. I remember the NNP condemned that, right? NNP had a lot of negative things to say about it. There is some piece somewhere that I played in the past. I have it somewhere where the NNP actually condemned the agreement, and they asked the question why you have to pay $5 million for an agreement like this. But now we are seeing why. We're seeing and realizing the fruits of that. Because this is a world-renowned, one of the best hospitals in the world. This partnership is bearing fruits, and we are seeing it for ourselves. Because I tell you, I went to the hospital to visit my friend, and I observed, because I'm a very observant person. I observe at any given time when I went there, you have 3 and 4 doctors on the ward, and the nurses were very polite. They communicated better, right? They listened to you. They speak to the patients. It was just seamless and smooth and nice and friendly. When you enter the hospital, the security, how they respond to you, the people at the front desk, it's just different. And you could sense it, you could feel it. You go to visit your family member or friends, you could see that they're trying their best, and you could feel it, folks. And that is what you want in a healthcare system. That is what you want in a healthcare system. But folks, I want to wish you all the very best. I will be back with you, God's willing, tomorrow, starting at 8 in the a.m. to continue that mission. Because it's a mission. We start that journey and we have to continue. We want to empower people. We want to enlighten our people. We want to educate our people. We want to remind our people about the good things, the positive things that are happening in this place we call home. We have to move away from negativity. We turn that chapter. We no longer have Keith Mitchell as Prime Minister or the NNP in power. We don't have these people. We move to a positive state of mind. We are more conscious. We want good for this place, and we have to unite and work diligently to come to that